Hey guys, what's up? And today I'm gonna do an album review on an album that's not necessarily released recently, but they are in fact released a very, very long time ago, and I'm reviewing them because they are great albums. And today I'm gonna be reviewing Daft Punk Discovery. Yes, originally I wanted this album to be my first electronic album review, but that actually went to Nicholas Jar with, 2012 to 2017. But this is seriously one of the best electronic albums ever, in my opinion. So Daft Punk, if you don't know them, they are an electronic music duo formed in France, consisting of Thomas Bangalter and Guy-Manuel de Homem Christo. That's a long name. And this album is actually released in 2001, which is before I was even born. So yeah, come to think of it, this album is actually pretty old, but then not quite. And this is actually their sophomore album. Their debut album is titled Homework, and even though I don't think Homework is as good as Discovery, it's still a very well put together, a very diverse and fun dance, electro, house, pop album, and it was all the rage back then. It was very hot and popular back then, and everyone was dying to hear their second album, which is Discovery. And after Discovery, they released Human After All, which, in my opinion, isn't all that great. But they have also released a Tron soundtrack, a soundtrack to a movie called Tron, and it's not that bad, in my opinion. And then, after a long, long time, they have released Random Access Memories, and it's a great comeback album, in my opinion. Comeback, technically? I don't know. And yeah, Daft Punk, their influences have really deeply rooted into the music industry, into the mainstream music scene. Not only does LCD Sound System sing about them on the first track of their debut album, Gorillaz sampled Daft Punk on the track Dare. Kanye West had famously sampled Daft Punk in Stronger, and of course, The Weeknd. I think he sampled Daft Punk in Starboy, or maybe he literally featured them, but either way, Daft Punk is an important duo. And back in the early 2000s, other than Aphex Twin, there aren't many electronic and electropop and house music artists. That's why when Daft Punk had released this album, not many people liked it, because early 2000s and the late 90s are mostly indie rock albums, I guess, and a bit of mainstream pop. But Daft Punk's Discovery is really a special album that stands out amongst all of the other contemporaries. And yeah, one of the most iconic things about Daft Punk is that they always remain anonymous. And they do that by covering their heads with robot helmets and wearing robot suits. Even though their photos, like their real life photos, are on the internet, go look up if you're interested, if you're curious. But the way they remain anonymous is actually a very, very unique feature for the duo. And after the release of this album, in fact, they went on to release Interstellar 5555, which is an anime, but there aren't any dialogues. It's like a super long music video for Discovery. It's pretty awesome. I think Kanye West did the same thing for his My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, and very recently Janelle Monáe did that to her latest album, Dirty Computer, as well. And yeah, this album is truly a great dance electronic music album with the dreamy loops, the very creative sampling, the groovy bass lines, the very nice, catchy, sweet synths, the sound effects are very abrasive, raw, and rough at times, but also very snappy and quick and punchy at times as well. And the vocals on this album, even though there aren't much vocals, usually they come with auto-tune. But, auto-tune used and utilized in the right way sounds amazing because it makes the robotic Daft Punk signature sound even more significant, and it gives the track such a synthetic, plastic, electronic feel to it that is actually a great touch in my opinion. The album starts off with One More Time, and then the album starts off very, very strongly with One More Time. It's extremely catchy, very sunny, very sweet, very uplifting, and I also really like how the beat sometimes breaks into these four continuous beats, these 4 counts. I'm not a huge electronic DJ guy, so I don't know some of the terms here, but sometimes the break will break. No, sometimes the beat will break into these 4 count bars. And the percussions on this track are really punchy, and the guitars are really scratchy and rough, and they give the song a very nice, abrasive, processed machine feel to it, but at the same time, it's such a party banger, and it's one of my favorite electronic tracks of all times. So, what else can I say? And then we have Aerodynamic, another great electronic pop track. We get these guitar lines that are very squawky and rough, and they are sort of doodling in the sample, but occasionally we get these very interstellar and high-speed ascending arpeggios guitar lines that are that sound like they're about to go through the roof, and it sort of leads into a very climactic ending. And I also really like the bell samples of the track. The third track, Digital Love, is equally as exciting and awesome of an electropop track, even though, almost none of the instrumentals on this album and on this track are original, because Daft Punk mainly sampled from songs, but they turned the sample into something so fun to dance to, so fun to hop along to. It's magical. Daft Punk really did something magical to all the samples. And Digital Love is a very peppy, poppy love song. There are a lot of vocals, especially on the first minute of the track, and these guitar swirls are really sweet. And I just love how exciting and sunny and catchy and uplifting it is. Again, very upbeat, very positive sounding, very forward thinking sounding. Yeah, just a fun time. Just a freaking fun time listening to the track. We have the fourth track, the iconic Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger. Harder, better, faster, stronger. And man, where do I even start? It's another iconic Daft Punk track that's been sampled everywhere, and of course, again, Kanye West sampled this in Stronger, and boy, is this awesome. The bass is very springy, the samples are very choppy and clunky, and occasionally we get these splashes of synths and guitars that makes the track way more lively, and the melodies are extremely catchy, and the lyrics are also really, really catchy as well, the way they put it into the melody. Even though if you look at the lyrics without listening to the song, it feels kind of redundant and dumb. Harder, better, faster, stronger. Harder, better, faster, stronger. But when you listen to the song, it's way better that way. It's way more catchy and exciting and fun that way. And I also really like towards the end, they sort of chopped up the sample and grouped all the melodic parts together into a very futuristic, clunky, robotic uh, segment that has almost a bitter feel to it, but in a very, very catchy way. And man, this song is awesome. And we also have Crescendolls. This song is criminally underrated. It's freaking awesome. And I really love the watery sound effects. They sort of act as a layer of bass for the track. And then we get these very fun and bouncy ascending melodies that just keep on ascending and ascending and ascending, and then they start over and over again, and they can loop on forever. They can loop on for 10 hours and it would be equally as exciting. It's awesome. And then we have Night Vision, which is a very dreamy interlude, a nice cool down track, a nice intermission for the album. Nothing all that special, but it's nice that they would put sort of an interlude in the middle, because, you know, it's a little too exciting, okay? And then we have Superheroes and High Life. Both of these tracks are also heavily based on loops and samples. And on these two tracks, Daft Punk basically took a sample from a song from a long time ago, and then they kept on looping and looping and looping and looping over and over and over again. And even though it may sound repetitive to you, but actually they are really, really finely edited, finely sampled, and they used those samples and they sort of I guess wrapped it around with a very sweet and catchy and danceable chord progression, and that is yet another example of Daft Punk being magical. And yeah, the track Superheroes is pretty stunning. Towards the end of the track, the vocals, they sort of break down into this spacey lead melody, the synths, and it's awesome. And on the track High Life, it's equally as fun and danceable, but maybe I would put Superheroes over High Life a little bit, maybe. Yeah, I just really like how overblown the beats are. And of course, you cannot mention Daft Punk without mentioning the track Something About Us, which is also another cool down track, but another really, really well done cool down track. The keyboards are super sweet, the bass is very sensual and intimate, but at the same time, Daft Punk, they still remain their robotic status here. And the melodies are actually really quaint and cute, and the vocals with the French accent is just it's just a really, really nice cherry on top. And yeah, it's very groovy, very nice. And Voyager, yeah, the next track, also extremely groovy. At first, it feels this track is really special because, again, it's another really underrated Daft Punk track in my opinion. It's special. It's something special. It doesn't feel like the very happy, uplifting, sunny days, 12 noon sort of vibe. It doesn't have that vibe like the tracks One More Time, Aerodynamic, and Digital Love does. But I don't know, man. This track, it's like you're still partying, you're still having fun, but you're in somewhere different. You're in somewhere more beautiful. It's almost like this song takes place in a sunset far away in somewhere futuristic and luxurious in a very sci-fi way almost. The very dreamy and drunken synths are backed with these very exciting grooves that are very I don't know how to describe it. I guess, for lack of better word, I guess nocturnal, but then not quite. It doesn't have the dark, spooky, nocturnal feel to it, but it's like, yeah, it's like partying at midnight, but you're tired. That's what this song sounds like. And then up next we have a Veridis. if you rearrange that, it would become Discovery, which is Discovery, the album title. I don't know if it's intentional or is this just a coincidence. I don't know. But this track is more of an 80s sci-fi synth funk track. It's very cool, very chill, very laid back. We get these synths that are very doodly and quaint, and it's a nice touch. And for the album endings, we have Short Circuit, which is a really, really weird, choppy, messy cut. It's like Daft Punk is trying to, put a fun, experimental little track into their track list just to, spice it up a little bit. But yeah, this track may not be my favorite Daft Punk track. It's a little messy, it's a little too here and there, and it almost sounds like the kind of music you would expect to be playing at like a fashion show or something. Yeah, but the ending, the way the song ends with the moody chord progressions are really nice. The track Face to Face is the second last track. Daft Punk sampled like 5 or 6 songs, and yeah, the beats are still very punchy, and the edits are really clunky. And instead of looping a sample over and over and over again, Daft Punk almost put an entire song into the track. And still, it's pretty cool. The album ending is titled Too Long, and unironically, it's 10 minutes long. And they sampled one song, but they sort of put it into different sections. They placed it into different sections, movements, things, parts. Yeah. I guess my biggest gripe with the song is that the vocals of that sample may be a little too humane, but still, the intro is very nice. There are a lot of changes in the middle that makes the song way less boring and way more dynamic, and the ending is climactic. It's very strong, and it's a very colorful and climactic ending for the Daft Punk album. So, yeah, when I'm talking about this, I don't know why, but I get a feeling that Daft Punk Discovery is like partying from morning till the next morning. It's like 24 hours cycle of partying. One more time is the feeling you get when you wake up on a sunny holiday knowing that this day is going to be great. It's that morning song, and then in the middle you get Night Vision. It's like a little cool down bit, and then Superheroes and High Life occurs in like afternoon, and then Something About Us is like the cool down where the sun begins to set, and then Voyager is that moment when the sun really completely sets and the day transitions into the night. And then Veridis is the first nighttime song, and then Too Long is like it's basically like sleeping, you or more like going from midnight till morning, I guess. And I don't know, it's just a theory. It's just a feeling that I get when I'm listening to the album. Yeah. My favorite song here is One More Time, and my least favorite is Short Circuit. I'm giving Daft Punk's Discovery a very, very, very strong 9 out of 10. Yeah, very, very close to a 10. I would say that this album is equally as good as Nas's Illmatic, and these two albums are just so close to a 10, just so close. So, have you listened to Daft Punk's Discovery? From 1 to 10, how much did you rate it? Like if you like it, and subscribe if you want more. And thanks for watching.